this video, you'll learn how I went from having no direction in business or finance to having weeks where we generate $5,000 to $7,000 in rental income. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, Jonathan here. I was able to achieve financial freedom at 27 through passive income of real estate investing. So let's get to a few things straight from the beginning. 1, I did not come from an investing family. 2, I did not come from a real estate family. And actually my parents, they didn't like any of this. They wanted me to be a teacher or an accountant, and the thought of real estate investing completely disturbed them. They were just totally against it. And going way back, my first job was in a grocery store as a bagger making minimum wage. Then when I was 16, I had a major upgrade. I went from bagging to caddying, which actually turned out to be amazing, mainly for even just the people that you meet. It's great money, but you can meet amazing people from caddying. Then I went to college, Hofstra to be exact, where I had no interest in making money because I thought I was gonna become a golf pro at a country club, which later I found out was a way harder and lower paying job than I thought. I then had a weird family life experience that made me realize I needed to start taking life seriously and making money. And that's when I got into the world of business and personal development, and specifically real estate. And I had no clue what I was doing, but I was very serious about what I wanted to get into. I was reading, I was talking to people, I was watching YouTube videos. My goal was just to be rich, I guess. The American dream, I thought at the time. So what did this mean? This meant I was gonna get a job and climb the corporate ladder. My only problem at the time though was that I had no internships because remember, I had no ambition in business and I was playing golf every day and every summer instead of interning. So I did something that actually still works today. So if you're looking for a job, listen up. What I was doing was just reaching out to as many people as I could on LinkedIn who went to my college or were friends of friends working at the company I was interested in. So when I started, I was gung-ho on corporate America. I was getting there early, staying late, drinking the Kool-Aid until there was a massive layoff in the company. And I didn't get affected in the layoff, but a lot of people did, and it showed me that one income stream that I didn't actually control is really dangerous. It was the opposite of everything I heard all the time when I was in college and growing up when people said just get a job, it's very safe. Not true. So this is when I got started thinking about real estate and how to retire early or achieve financial freedom or FIRE. So now let's talk about the real estate journey, and specifically the real estate journey before Airbnb or Furnished Rentals. Guys, I also forgot to mention I have this weird thing going on. I wasn't feeling so good, so I went to the doctor. He told me that he's seen what I have before, and the only way to cure it is getting more likes and subs on this channel. So if you haven't already, could you please help me follow the doctor's orders? I really appreciate it. So kind of like when I was getting started with business and personal development, I had no idea what I was doing, but I have found, so just remember this guys, if you keep taking consistent action and networking with people ahead of you, good things will start to happen. And that's what happened here. I was reading tons of books, watching YouTube videos, going to conferences, meetups, all those sorts of things. And actually my friend Chris turned me on to a site called BiggerPockets. And BiggerPockets is just like Facebook for real estate investors. It's great for networking, reading blogs, and they also have a podcast. I decided I was gonna start with a strategy called house hacking. This was mainly because it didn't require a lot of money. House hacking is when you buy a property with 3 to 5% down because you're gonna live in it, and then you can rent out the other rooms so that you can live for free or even make money to live. It's amazing. I believe this. It remains the greatest real estate strategy, period. You don't need a lot of money and you live for free after. This is insane. So I did this a few more times, and each year I house hacked. I would also buy one regular investment rental unit. The caveat to house hacking is that you can only buy one a year, but at the end of that year, you can move out and turn that property into a rental or an Airbnb or whatever you want to do. It's pretty cool. At this point, I was 3 years into real estate investing and was making about $2,000 a month passively, which was great, but it felt like it was going too slow. Like I kept doing the math and I was thinking, if I keep doing what I'm doing, when will I hit the goals that I want to hit? And it was just taking too long. So let's talk about what happened next, which was real estate with Furnished Rentals. So I knew there had to be a faster way, and I thought this was an opportunity that if the world was paused, I could get ahead if I got really busy and started meeting people and taking more action when others weren't. So I started looking at all the real estate strategies that were out there. First, I started with a strategy called wholesaling, which is flipping properties without doing any work on them. We could talk about it in other videos, but it's a good strategy. It just requires a lot of work. So I partnered with 2 guys and we did make some money, but to be honest, I found this business to be really frustrating. So I didn't want to do it for the long term. Next, I looked into real estate syndication or apartment syndication, which is just a fancy way of saying pooling money together together to buy apartment buildings. This seemed really interesting because I was talking to people who had thousands of units, they claimed, so I figured they must be rich. A big caveat here, guys, it turns out the number of units someone has is no indicator of how much money they make. There were people I met with who had 5,000 units but made less than people with 2 short-term rentals. It was a joke. So I started to become really interested in short-term rentals, but I couldn't find any deals at the time. So what I did was I started to call people who had properties listed for rent, and then I was able to find a seller who originally was listing for rent, but then was open to selling to me. What I did then was I got traditional financing on the property and I closed in 3 weeks. I got a 15% down loan if I remember correctly, and the lender was cool with closing that fast, and the seller was very happy about it. The property is pretty cool. It's a tree house actually, and the best part about it, it came furnished. The first month I owned this property, it made more than the 5 other properties I had combined. So that was kind of it. I was doubling down on furnished rentals, mainly just for cash flow. And at the time, I still had my corporate job, which was great because banks lend more to people with jobs than if they are self-employed or doing other types of side hustles. So the game became now, how many loans could I get before it was time to leave corporate America? And it turns out that number was 3 more. So from 2020 to 2022, I added 3 more STRs that started generating the cash flow I really always hoped for in real estate. In 2021, I had my first 10K month, and then had a 15K month. There are ebbs and flows, but when I look at the returns on furnished rentals compared to regular rentals, it's just a different game. You can have huge weeks, you can control your own destiny, and if you improve the property, you can make a lot more money than a regular rental. So with that, we started to convert the traditional rentals into extended stay rentals, and then we started making 2 to 3 times what a normal rental would make. I was completely shocked. I did not think this was possible. Even today, with a recession and lots of problems in the world, our furnished rentals outperform our traditional rentals by 2 to 3x. And I see this holding. What I think is the difference is a matter of being diligent with the setup, managing your pricing, and being really good at management. Okay, so what would I have done differently in this entire process? This one's actually very easy. I would have found a mentor sooner. This was the thing I was lacking early on. I was chasing all the information on my own. It was scattered. I was looking in different directions, but I didn't have one source of truth or one person that had walked the path before me. And everything changed when I started seeking mentors who could walk me down the path they already figured out and the mistakes they already made or avoided. When I realized this, I would do literally anything to be around the people I thought could help me. Like for example, I once sent out a video campaign to multifamily investors offering to cut their grass and live at their property to manage it for them. If only someone would offer that to me today. It sounds funny, guys, but this is what it takes. So drop any questions you have about mentors, real estate, Airbnb below, and I will make sure to answer every single one of them. And if you haven't seen this series yet, I give out every tool and strategy you need to get started on Airbnb for free, so I highly recommend you check it out. It'll either be linked on the screen or definitely down below in the summary. Until next time, guys, be great and good luck making your first dollar in real estate investing.